Could I ask you a question? Stanton says, people deserve treatment. There's various modalities of treatment. He's not keen on methadone, as I understand it. But I mean, what is your treatment? I mean, for this population? What is?
Well, I agree. I think
the future looks grim, but we're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we should have a wide range of treatments available for dependent drug use in Scotland. But that's not what we have. We largely have a one-size-fits-all treatment solution to dependent drug use, which happens to be methadone. So the research which has shown that drug users who had the good fortune to get access to residential rehabilitation and were some 6 times more likely to be drug-free after 3 years than those drug users who didn't get that access to residential rehabilitation. You might say, now that research finding would have led or encouraged the expansion of the residential rehabilitation sector, not for everybody, but to make it more widely available than it currently is.
But Neil, you yourself have given a reason for not doing that in terms of the sheer numbers involved.
But the reality actually is it's used less now than when we actually did our research. That we have residential rehabilitation beds in Scotland empty because service commissioners don't want to incur the additional cost of providing that treatment to them. Even though it may well be one of the most effective treatments that we have available, we don't want to pay for it. Now it's a bit like saying, I'm not going to, I have great sympathy that you happen to be suffering from cancer, but I'm afraid you're not going to get the most effective cancer treatment because it's going to cost me rather too much money. I'm going to give you the 2nd or 3rd or 4th quality cancer treatment, which I'm okay about because it's going to cost me less, but you may not like it as much, but it's actually the only one is on offer anyway. And I think that we should be as discomforted by the response that residential rehabilitation is too expensive to provide for very many drug users. We're going to only provide it to very few, and the vast majority are going to get a treatment which is going to, after an extended period of time, is going to leave them in a continuous state.
Let me jump in, Neil.
A continuous state.
We've gone down an entirely different road in America. We've focused entirely on inpatient treatment. And we've taken resources away from, for example, other government agencies. People have done, Keith Humphreys, an example of how our expenditures have gone increasingly into intensive hospitalization treatment at the cost of providing educational subsidies, at the cost of providing people housing subsidies. Remember our discussion about doctors. People quit addiction, as Neil himself said, on their own when they have sufficient motivation and reasons to do so. The more you focus on intensive individual treatment, the fewer people you reach. And in another guise of his personality, Neil, as I've heard him say before the audience, we were going to have 50,000 or more addicts. It's impossible to No, Britain's not going in that direction of increasing treatment, but they couldn't possibly treat that many people. We need much broader mechanisms for reaching people. And remember, brief interventions are the most demonstrably effective alcohol treatments that guide them effectively, but put more reliance on outpatient and on themselves for overcoming, which you've also, I believe, said.